Hashem, we're here again. Do you feel like we're going into like stuck in a fucking time loop a little bit? I feel like we're doing the same thing over and over every single day. Do you think you're getting the same results? No, not necessarily. Well, you know what it is too. And I think the benefit of doing this is that it's not that we're getting the same results every single day. Like every day is just a little bit different, you know? Like the general idea is the same, but the consequences of what we're doing is different. Because I feel like, because what are we at? Is this week 2? No, this is week 3, I think, since we started doing this, right? Because we started right after, or right before Passover, right? So I think, yeah, this is week 3. But I think I was in a more aggressive, type of place. Well, plus I ate. Plus the house is empty, so it's like the energy is completely different too. Because it's just me and my brother that are home now. So Mom and Mike, they're on vacation, which means I'm on vacation. I didn't even want to do this. I wanted to lay in bed. If not for that pesky alarm. No, I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I was just lying there with my eyes shut. I woke up at... I think I want to listen to that on loop. After this song. I woke up bright and fucking early today. I woke up when they were leaving, because I think they left around like 4 o'clock. They left around 4 o'clock, and it woke me up. And at first I was disturbed, but then I remembered, I'm like, oh wait, they're leaving. So then I just lie there, I just enjoy the noise. I was enjoying the sound because I knew they were going on their vacation and they finally get to get away. But it works both ways, you know? You know, I've only ever lived by myself for 3 months. Consecutively. And even then, it was like... That was the best 3 months of my life. Because before that, I was living with April for fucking 12 years. Right? Yeah. together in 2005. Noise. Yeah, because we lived together for 12 years before she moved out. And we only lived together for like 2 years before the boy was born. And then it's not bad. Hey, bud. Yeah, we only lived together for 2 years before the boy was born, and then the only time I had alone was when they would go out. And I think they took offense to it. Because before living with them, I lived with my grandmother and I lived with my father. But it was like those 3 months. And realistically, it was only 2 good months that I had by myself. Because it was a month after they left that I quit the job. But I don't know, is there something wrong with when I live by myself? Because I feel like those 2 months that I lived by myself, those 3 months by myself, were the most productive 3 months of my life, up until that point. It's not good for a man to be by himself. Those are your words in the Bible. Alright. My father lived by himself, though. Yeah, right, but he died of cancer prematurely. Yeah, good point. Are you saying he wouldn't have if he had a woman? Like, I don't know what that dude did when he was by himself. Like, I never asked him. I mean, granted. I know, I'm thinking about it now. It's like, even living with them, like, I feel like I live by myself because I just hang out by myself in my room all day. Or I come out here. The only time I leave my room is to smoke or run an errand with my mom. Or if she feels like talking to me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm not complaining. What? Oh, God. Alright, so the thought going through my head before we left was, I really like this whole reading the protocols of Zion. So my original intention was I wasn't going to turn this on until we got here, but I heard you tell me just to turn the fucking camera on. Don't put all the good stuff at the very beginning. Save it. kind of like a filter bubble. Why do I want to put this song on loop? I want to put this song on loop because of the thing I was watching before I left. I was listening to that YouTube channel, Magnetize Yourself. There's a chick, she did a video on how to magnetize yourself. How to make the divine feminine aspect of ourself more magnetic. And she had a great idea to get yourself into that mindset, of being the center of your own universe, the center, yeah. Well, she said solar system. I say fuck it, universe. And then she said be your own sun, and then it caught me because I don't necessarily subscribe to the heliocentric system. I'm not entirely convinced that the sun is the center. But I do put myself at the center of the universe and solar system. Wait. I put myself at the center of the solar system, at the center of the universe, with the Earth as the center. But then she said the sun, and being that I'm not entirely convinced that the sun is the center, that doesn't make it untrue. Because from the sun's perspective, it is the center. From the Earth's perspective, it is the center. From the moon's perspective, it's the center. From Mars's perspective, Mars is the center. And on and on and on and on and on. So it got me thinking, well, yeah, I'm the sun, I'm the moon, I'm the Mars. I could be multiple centers at the same time, right? So she was also saying about how what you want comes to you when you are it, right? Which goes back to bitachon and trusting you. So I have to trust that you wanted me to hear that because you're managing my masculine side and the universe is managing my feminine side. One of the perks of being a Jew is that I have bitachon. And I can believe things that I don't necessarily see. Which you help with, because if I believe that you can do something before I can see you do it, then you give me more reason to believe that you can do the thing that I was gonna say want, but need. But then when we were talking the other day, I was saying how I want everything that I need. Because in the Goyim perspective, we want what we don't need, and we need what we don't want. But from a Jew perspective, I want what I need more than I want what I don't need. Because that makes more sense. I don't know what I need. That's the thing. You know what I need. You know what I need more than me, so I gotta trust you. I wanted just to lie in bed with my eyes shut for a little bit, but you needed me, but then you said, no, you need to get the fuck up. All right. So now going back to her logic, which is mixed up with your logic, if I want to miss Kim, then I have to be in the mindset that I already have a Miss Kim. I'm just patiently waiting for Miss Kim to realize, or no, not even. I'm patiently waiting for Miss Kim to get the balls to say, I need you. I know, I've been waiting for you to say that. Because I need you too. But I've been kind of waiting around for you to say it. Which is fair, right? I mean, that's a fair way to do it. I can't be up your ass all the time and be like, hey, I need you, 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 I need you. For what? I don't know. I don't know yet. I need you to need me. That's what it is. I'm waiting around for you to finally say I need you, because I need you to say that you need me. Well, don't wait around. It's not like that. It's not like, oh man, just hold me up. I don't need to be doing anything else. I'm already doing all the other shit that I need to be doing. So it's kind of like I'm just filling in time. And this particular song puts me in the mindset that there's already a Kim there. It's just, she hasn't taken physical form yet. So, we got 17 minutes. That leaves us with 1 hour and 45 minutes. So we're just gonna go to our spot, and I was gonna go in the backyard, but my brother's home, and I have neighbors too, so I don't want to get all fucking riled up. I'll find myself censoring myself, which goes back to what we were saying before. Like, do you feel like you feel like we're kind of stuck in a time loop, but are you getting the same results every time that you do this? No, every single time. Like, I feel like this is helping me up level every time. It's like going to a therapist, right? But not, because the therapist's job is to tell you what's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. That's the thing. I don't need a therapist. The only reason people need therapists is just so that they have someone to listen to them. I'm not paying you to tell me what's wrong with me. I'm not paying you to tell me what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I just need to hear myself say it. I'm getting reminded back in Merrimack when I was working with Willie, and I was having some shit going on with the regional, and why I was allowing this guy to why I felt so intimidated with this guy, and why I kept on taking his shit. But then I had this breakthrough. I'm like, well, his name's Frank. My father's name is Frank. He is older than me, so maybe maybe this is some kind of subconscious association correspondence where I'm linking Frank to my father, because Frank is a Capricorn, my father was a Capricorn. There was just enough little associations that put it into my head. And as I'm talking about it out loud, Willie cuts me off and he's like, no, bro, that don't look like that. I'm like, bro, one, I ain't even talking to you. I'm talking to myself. And what part of me is talking to you? I'm also talking to myself. So I'm not just talking so you can hear me, I'm talking so I can hear me too, because I need to figure out what the fuck is going on. And what was great about that was after I was done putting him in his place, I had a breakthrough moment where I was like, holy shit, that's what I needed. I just needed to stand up to somebody. That's it. All right, better. I feel better now. And then from there on, that was it. That's when I just laid into the fucking company. I laid into everybody with zero fucks. I laid into the fucking the vice president of sales. God, that felt amazing. Because I did that a couple times. I did that twice. Each time felt better than the last time. How you doing? That was a dream come true too. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Why am I thanking you? I'm thanking you because you put the opportunity in my hand. Like, you put that opportunity right there in my face. Because that was something I wanted to do for such a long time. Was stand up to corporate people and show them I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how much money you make. I don't give a fuck about your salary. I don't give a fuck about your position. Your position doesn't mean shit to me. Oh, that felt so good. But thank you, Shem. I love you too. Yeah, but where were we going with that? Why did it remind me of the Merrimack? Stepping into power, right? As soon as we're ready to step into our power, then you give us opportunities to step into it. So paying somebody to listen to us talk. Yeah, that's what this is. I mean, this is the most ideal form of therapy because, one, I don't have to pay for it, and two, this is literally exactly what I would need therapy for, because we need a witness to see us do and say the things. Well, it helps when there is a witness there, at least. And I know we don't need the camera with us, but it does, it's good. One, it's good for posterity. Two, there's that added element, that added like, oh shit factor, where it's like, fuck, someone could see this. Because I'm thinking back to the last time I talked to Miss Kim. The only reason that we talked was because of what I wrote in the group that we had. I didn't know that she was actually going to the group. I didn't know that she was going in there and reading everything I was writing. I knew the potential was there. So I was just going unhinged completely. But then when I saw that when she commented on the one, or when she messaged me about the one of those last things I wrote, I had one of those oh fuck moments. Like, fuck, she actually read it. Shit. And then she told me, she's like, I come in here and read stuff. Fuck. But that freak out was only, how long was that? I went out because I said to her, I'm like, I need to go smoke a cigarette real quick. Because she didn't know what the hell was going on leading up to it. She didn't know that 2 days prior, you and I were having this conversation. She didn't know a lot of shit about all the stuff that was predicated up until that moment. And it's like, I can't fucking write a novel. I can't call because you don't pick up the phone. So and then I don't know if you're making fun of me when I'm not, I don't know if you're making fun of me behind my back. I don't know what the fuck. So what I was gonna say, what you said about killing the group, unfriending her, unfollowing her, that's gonna put her in a position that if I don't have any control over the situation anymore, because the only reason that she said something was because I said something. And then every time I say something after that, she doesn't say anything. So it's obvious that it's only when I say certain things that she says something. But again, that goes back to me controlling the situation. I don't want to control it. I don't want to control it until she tells me, I want you to control this. All right, no problem. But obviously I can't get rid of this broad. So, and whether I like it or not, there's times I have to like wait months before I hear anything from her. So cutting the group out, unfriending her, and unfollowing her, that negates any potential of me having any kind of control whatsoever. Plus, at the same time, it opens a door. It puts me in a position where I'm not holding on to that no more. So next time, if/when she says something, it's on her. I didn't make you say shit. You did that on your own. But I mean, 6 years later, we're still fucking playing this game. And it's not really a game. It's 6 years later. I'm still like caught up on this one fucking lady. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. Even after cutting out the group, unfriending, unfollowing, still there. So obviously you want her in my head for a reason. And it feels more right inside of me that you want me to keep her in my head because of a future that we're sharing together. So fuck it, whatever, dude. Fine. But I'm gonna loop this fucking song because this is a song that puts me more in that energy. Plus, it kind of makes me feel like she's watching. And this is what I was saying the other day. This is what I was writing too the other week. Is if I wasn't a Jew, I would think that there's something seriously wrong with me. Like I would think this is some kind of weird obsession compulsion. But I'm at a point where, when I really think about our history, mine and hers. And I think about how much I have never actually tried controlling the situation. She always pops up on her own. I'm okay never talking to her again. I am. I mean, I don't like the idea, but I can live with it. She's the one that always comes to me. And then what do? I just fucking unload everything on her. Because I can't help it. Right, I know. That's what you're supposed to do. I know. I know, but it feels like I'm not supposed to do that. And then I feel bad about it. Not that I feel bad that I did it, but then I feel bad for myself going, you put yourself in this position again. But I'm coming at it from a Goyim perspective where it's like, no, I'm not putting myself in this position again. You're putting me in this position again. And why do you keep putting me in this position? I don't think it's a test. I don't think it's a test at all. What do I think it is? Well, I think it's prep work. I think it's prep work. Prep work for what? Well, I think it's prep work for a time when we're sharing a future together, where we're sharing a life together. That's what I think it is. Preparing for. But you need me to be in a specific space so that, because she's going to need someone who's in that particular place, but I'm the only one who can actually go to that place, so I have to be in that place before she could say I need you, because if I'm not in that place, I'm not what she needs. And I know I'm talking about Miss Kim, but realistically, I'm cool with any Kim. Wait. My lord, I think She's just the archetype. That's what I need. Well, I need that to need me, right? Well, I want that to need me. But the fact that I'm saying I need that to need me, am I wrong? I feel like if I was wrong, then I wouldn't be able to say it. You feel? Of course you feel me. Do I feel myself? Yeah, I feel that. That's why I said it. Well, you're like my therapist. You're my therapist. Yeah? All right, let's get to work. I'm trying to remember where we left off. We left off with liberty, freedom, and fraternity. Leaders ruin, people left to itself. We got pretty far. You know, I tried writing this out last night, but it just made me think about how much more I like reading it out loud. Dynastic. That's another thing, was the whole, hold on, I'm just jumping right to the middle. As established. Oh, this is fucking read the whole fucking thing over again, because this was a biggie. Far back in ancient times, we were the first to cry, Jews. We were the first to cry among the masses of people the words liberty, equality, and fraternity. Words many times repeated since those days by stupid poll parrots, who from all sides round flew down upon these baits, and with them carried away the well-being of the world. True freedom of the individual, formerly so. Far back in ancient times, we were the first to cry among the masses of people the words liberty, equality, fraternity. Words many times repeated since those days by stupid poll parrots, who from all sides round flew down upon these baits, and with them carried away the well-being of the world. True freedom of the individual, formerly so well guarded against the pressure of the mob. That's a big sentence. The would-be wise men of the Goyim, the intellectuals, could not make anything out of the uttered words in their abstractness. Did not note the contradiction of their meaning and interrelation. Did not see that in nature there is no equality, cannot be freedom. That nature herself has established inequality in minds of characters and capacities, just as immutably as she has established subordination to her laws. Never stop to think that the mob is a blind thing, that upstarts elected from among it to bear rule are, in regard to the political, the same blind men as the mob itself, that the adept, though he be a fool, can yet rule, whereas the non-adept, even if he were a genius, understands nothing in the political. To all these things the Goyim paid no regard, yet all the time it was based upon these things that dynastic rule rested. The father passed on to the son a knowledge of the course of political affairs in such wise that none should know it but members of the dynasty, and none could betray it to the governed. As time went on, the meaning of the dynastic transference of the true position of affairs in the political was lost, and this aided the success of our cause. How so? Because if our cause... Alright, this is like a little bit of a reverse, this is like a little bit of backwards thinking. So because the dynastic rule fell and gave rise to the rule of the mob, of the blind mob, this aided our cause in the sense that the dynastic rule is the natural predator of the blind mob. So in order for the dynastic rule to resurrect itself, to be resurrected, it has to first be replaced absolutely and completely by the blind mob rule, which we have today, so that we can be empowered enough, we can empower ourselves within the shadow because the blind can't see in the dark. Therefore, while they're blindly bumping around, getting all fucked up on booze and alcohols, and getting themselves drunk on sin and transgressions, we are silently working in the background, creeping our way back into the foreground, so that by the time we are back into power, it will be as if it was always that way from the very beginning, and they won't even realize it. Because you can't extinguish evil, you have to let evil extinguish itself. And sometimes, as we saw, we have to partake in those evil ways as a sacrifice in order to blend in, to infiltrate, to gain a position. It's almost like the rebellion. I'm thinking of the rebellion in Star Wars. In all corners of the earth, liberty, equality, fraternity brought to our ranks, thanks to our blind agents, whole legions who bore our banners with enthusiasm. And all the time these words were cankerworms at work, boring into the well-being of the Goyim, putting an end everywhere to peace, quiet, solidarity, and destroying all the foundations of the Goya states. Go Goya. As you will later see, this helped to our triumph. It gave us the possibility, among other things, of getting into our hands the MasterCard, the destruction of the privileges, or in other words, of the very existence of the aristocracy of the Goyim, that class which was the only defense peoples and countries had against us. On the ruins of the natural and genealogical aristocracy of the Goyim, we have set up the aristocracy of our educated class, headed by the aristocracy of money. The qualifications for this aristocracy we have established in wealth, which is dependent upon us, and in knowledge, for which our learned elders provide the motive force. Aristocracies within aristocracies. I could feel that. I could see that. I could see that. Sleeper agents, essentially, who are put into specific positions of power where they may steer things in a particular direction so that the course of events that have yet to happen go in our favor, because unlike them who are just stuck in the moment, YOLO, you only live once, right? Well, we don't believe that that's not a Jewish thing. YOLO, you only live once. Not in the reality of not in your reality, not in Jew reality. You actually live multiple times. Some of us have no choice but to come back over and over again until we get the job fucking done. Like for instance, what's coming to my mind is the Catholic Church. Like the Catholic Church technically belongs to Mashiach. Mashiach is the heir of the Catholic Church. He's the heir of Rome. But at the same time, he's also the heir of Egypt, just like he's the heir of Israel. So it's like, Rome set itself up specifically for us to take it over, but by the time we, quote, take it over, it will have already been set up so not to seem as though we're taking it over, but as that we're just stepping into the position of authority that we had prepared for ourselves 2,000 years ago by way of Rabbi Jesus, who continually made note, my kingdom is not of this world, meaning it's not here yet. See, the world we live in today is not of his world. Get it? The world to come, tomorrow, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30, 40, 50, 2 centuries, two fucking millennia. 2 millennia from now, the world 2 millennia from now is not this world right now. We're talking about the world in the, do you want to say general sense? Yeah, 2,000 years, humans will more than likely still be on Earth, but even if that is the case, the world itself will have evolved and changed in such a way that it will no longer appear as though it does today. Just like 2,000 years ago, the world doesn't look like it did 2,000 years ago. Some sections of the world do. So that's it's potential that maybe the third world countries 2,000 years from now are still going to look like they do today. But that's how I'm understanding what he's saying, is that our people have always been there in the shadows, directing things, so that in the future, when he rises, he being Mashiach, everything's already ready for him. Everything's just there. It's like, all right. I thought I had to lift shit up. No, we already did the heavy lifting for you. Don't worry about it, bro. All right, cool, thanks. Appreciate you. Our triumph has been rendered easier by the fact that in our relation with the men whom we wanted to have always worked upon the most sensitive chords of the human mind, upon the cash account, upon the cupidity, upon the insatiability for material needs of man, our triumph has been rendered easier by the fact that in our relations with the men whom we wanted to have always worked upon the most sensitive chords of the human mind, upon the cash account, upon the cupidity, upon the insatiability for material needs of man. And each one of these human weaknesses, take alone, is sufficient to paralyze initiative, for it hands over the will of men to the disposition of him who has bought their activities. God, this is so fucking sneaky. We are a sneaky fucking bunch of people, that's for sure. But how else do you get things done? You can't just go into an all-out attack. Like everybody knows, like to destroy something, you have to destroy it from the inside out. The only way to destroy society is from the inside out. And not even destroy it, you have to allow it to destroy itself. Again, my mind is being brought back to the Path of Destruction, Star Wars, the Path of Destruction, the story of Darth Bane. He didn't wipe out the Sith. He just gave them the tools to wipe themselves out because he knew that their greed was going to be, their greed and insatiable lust for power was going to be too much for them to not take advantage of the tools that he gave, that he just handed over to them. And then, but even going further, he actually tickled their clits when he came back from Rasan, or when he got back to Rasan, after leaving the Forbidden Planet, and he had all of those forbidden Sith rituals, and he did the one empowerment ritual that got everybody hard to go fucking kill some Jedi. He got them all fueled up. He got them all frothed up. And then when everybody went into battle, he stayed behind and sabotaged everything. So they got all hard on the fact that they were going to win. Then they ended up getting their asses whooped. And when they come back and find him at the control center with his feet up on the fucking desk, he even had to like fight his own ego when Lord Khan came back in. He was like, what the fuck did you do? I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. And he even bowed down to this fucking twerp. And I remember reading that part, I'm thinking, this has got to be so fucking hard for him. Oh my God. This fucking puny little man, you could break him in a fucking instant and take this entire army over as your own. But no, you're gonna do the wise thing and just let them fucking wipe themselves out. So then I think that's when he hands Khan the recipe book for how to invoke the thought bomb. Hey, and if you do it, you get your revenge on the Jedi. It's a win-win. Fine, fuck it, but I'm taking the idea. All right, fine, go ahead. But leave me behind, Master, because I'm not worthy. And then Khan did exactly that. He brought all the Sith into the fucking cave system and had them invoke the thought bomb, which ultimately fucking wiped them all out. While Bane was sitting pretty with his feet up on the desk. Just waiting. Because it worked too. I mean, they wiped out more than half the Jedi, I think, right? If I remember correctly. They wiped out a fuck ton of Jedi. But in doing so, they wiped themselves out as well, leaving only Bane. And I think that's part of it. I'm pretty sure, and my lord, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the exact same thing that Mashiach is going to do to the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians. Is let them wipe themselves out. This way, he's the last man standing, because I'm pretty sure everybody wants to be Mashiach. Everyone wants to believe that they're Mashiach. And the only way for Mashiach to be Mashiach is for everyone else to get fucking smited. And the only way for them to do that is to empower everybody to be the Messiah. Because, like you said, all false messiahs will die of their own. Hey man, nothing I can do about it. If I'm wrong, because I'm saying, I know I'm Mashiach. I'm my own Mashiach. I'm no one else's Mashiach. I'm my own Messiah. I'm no one else's Messiah. I'm my own prophet. I ain't nobody else's fucking prophet. That's how I know. That's how I know, like, if anyone ever says, I'm Mashiach, I am the Messiah. No, you're not. What? Sure. Yes, my lord. But he's not. Because that's the trick. That's the trick. And that's the trick that Rabbi Jesus was trying to fucking point out to everybody is be your own fucking Messiah. Like, you don't have to wait for nobody. You can just do it. Just don't go parading it around, like, and telling people, hey, I'm your Messiah. I don't fucking tell nobody that shit. I'm just talking to myself. I am Messiah. I am Mashiach. I know it. Because no one can do for me what I'm doing for me, except for you. I'm not counting you. I'm just saying, in general, there ain't nobody on earth that can do for me what I can do for me. And I can only do for me what you allow me to do for me. And you're allowing me to do what I'm doing, so that means that I am doing the fucking job. And I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm doing the job, because I already know it. Hey, you're doing a great job. I know. I've been doing it for years. You have no idea what the fuck I've been doing. We'll finish that. The abstraction of freedom has enabled us to persuade the mob in all countries that their government is nothing but the steward of their people, who are the owners of the country, and that the steward may be replaced like a worn-out glove. That reminds me of the United States Constitution, by the way. That's what that reminds me of. You know that? I have this idea. Well, it came to me last year. Which is when I started working with the Communist Manifesto. which I still have to. I still want to finish that again, because I don't believe that communism doesn't work. If it doesn't, then China wouldn't be a superpower. But I don't know if they follow Marxist communism. I don't know too much about the political. My father wasn't a political man. The only thing I know about politics is what I know about what I learned from Torah. And this type of shit too. I mean, this is great. This is great. This is literally how government works. Well, this is how. Now, you know, I'm thinking about this too, and I think this is an important point to press. Is that this is written pre-Israel, pre the UN state of Israel. I think this is around World War I, yeah? This is around World War I. And I don't think that this necessarily means any particular country as much as every country. We got people everywhere. Because the ultimate goal is not world domination, but one world order. And if that's why people don't like Jews, like, if that's one of the reasons people don't like Jews, I don't understand. Then what do you want? Do you want everyone to be different? Or do you want everyone to like, because right now, like everything's like kind of a shit show. There's no order. Everything's very chaotic. So it would make more sense that under one world order, where everybody has a place, everybody has a job, everyone has something to do. You're not sitting on your ass. You're not sitting on your ass just scrolling, playing video games all day. Or just doing absolutely nothing with your fucking time, which is what people predominantly do, yeah? I don't think there's many people that actually do anything. I have a friend who's very much into the politics, and he doesn't actually do anything with it. He posts videos that somebody else made. Like, he doesn't make his own videos. But that's not really doing anything. That's just helping somebody else get clicks on their videos, which may or may not even be authentic, genuine. That might not be nothing for more than just clicks. I know people want to spread awareness, but you're spreading awareness on corrupt governments. Yeah, I know. Everyone knows that, but what are you doing about it? Spreading awareness. Yeah, but what are you doing about it besides that? Like, what's the plan? Spread awareness? Yeah, but then what? You know, I remember that episode of South Park with the underwear gnomes. And they're like, what are you doing? We collect the underpants. Phase 1, collect the underpants. Yeah, but then what's phase 2? Well, phase 1 is collect the underpants. I know, but what happens when you collect the underpants? What's phase 2? No, you're not getting it. Phase 1 is collect the underpants. No, I know that. I understand, you're collecting the fucking underpants, but what the fuck is phase 2? What the fuck do you plan on doing with them? You're spreading awareness. What are you spreading awareness of? Who doesn't know that the governments are corrupt? Everyone knows that. I was having a conversation with my brother, and he's giving me all these schemy not business ideas, but these schemy things that you can do with business entities, which I don't recommend doing whatsoever. And I even said to him, like, that sounds really shady. And he goes, well, yeah, I mean, unless the government goes legit, then you're just kind of blending in. What? That's the worst idea ever. Don't do that. Don't, you shouldn't even be thinking like that. Everything you're telling me just sounds like a red flag. It is this possibility of replacing the representatives of the people which has placed them in our disposal, and as it were, given us the power of appointment. Now, I don't know where... Like, this isn't the common Jew. I know this. I think the common Jew is just a regular dude, just a regular chick, who's just going about their business. I don't think that they're this much involved in it. But you can say the same thing with everyone from every level of society. Like, you're not going to go into the DMV. At least I don't think. I could be wrong. I mean, if we go into the DMV, like, how many people there are like fucking sleeper agents that are trying to steer the United States towards a one world order, being the capital of the one world order. You know what I mean? But I understand what it means, because we're talking about elected officials at this point. Any country where there's elected officials, then there are those people who are behind the scenes, funding them, telling them what to say, telling them what to do. Like when Donald Trump said that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. From the Jewish perspective, but that's not true. That's not true. That's actually not true. That's not true. Well, one, it's not true because it's in the Torah. It's in the Tanakh. It's in the fucking Bible. Samaria is the capital of Israel, not Jerusalem. You sneaky fucks. You sneaky bastards. Because that's not true. I was having a discussion with a Jew. I think he was a Jew. I don't know. He might not have been a Jew. He sounded like a Jew. I'm having a conversation with a fellow Jew, and he's telling me that the division of Israel was illegitimate. Illegitimate? That was God who did it. Did you not read the fucking Bible? That's God. God gets the final say. Where saying that it was illegitimate is implying that it was man's idea to divide Israel. No, it was God's idea. Do you not believe in God? Is that it? Samaria. Jerusalem is the capital of Judah. Jerusalem is not the capital of Israel. Jerusalem used to be the capital of Israel until King Solomon fucked everything up. So no. No. Jerusalem is not the capital of Israel. Sorry, it just don't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. Donald Trump does not get to say where the capital of Israel is. God does. And the last I checked, if we look into the fucking Jewish Bible, it's very clear that Samaria is the capital of Israel. And Judah cannot come back together with Israel until we have a super Jew, a super Samaritan, a half-breed Samaritan Jew. That was the end of Protocol 1, by the way. Ooh, this looks fun. It's been a while since I read this. It's been over a year and a half. I've come quite a ways since the last time I read this. All right, so Protocol 2: economic wars, the foundation of the Jewish predominance, figurehead government, and secret advisors. Quote, secret advisors. successes of destructive doctrines, adaptability and politics, part played by the press, cost of gold, and value of Jewish sacrifice. And again, I'm a Jew, I can do this. I'm a Jew by Talmudic law and Torah law. And, yeah, both, as a matter of fact. Because there are special cases where it comes down through the father. Now, my father wasn't a Jew that I know of. He didn't tell me so. But somewhere along my father's, there's Jew in there. Now, if we turn to the Talmud, a Jew's just an Israelite. Every Jew is an Israelite, but not every Israelite is a Jew. You understand? Just like in the Quran, how the Quran defines a Muslim as one who submits to God, Jew is the same thing, according to the Talmud. Tractate Megillah 13a. Who is a Jew? And it's laid out very clearly that a Jew is one who has abandoned all forms of idolatry in submission to God. That's a Jew. But they got to be of Israelite descent. That's the one caveat. It doesn't say to what degree, to what percentage. So having Israelite ancestry through my father's side, and being that I've abandoned all forms of idolatry in submission to you, to be submissive to you, makes me a Jew. It makes me, by definition, I'm a Jew. And not even a Jew could take that away from me. Because although religious Jews claim that one's Jewishness is passed down from the mother, that's not written down anywhere. But again, those are religious Jews. That's not an actual thing. There's nowhere in the Bible does it say that. As a matter of fact, it says the opposite of that in the Bible. Because if we go to Deuteronomy, if we go to the Hebrew Bible, there's no Jews in the Hebrew Bible, but Jew is an evolutionary necessity of Israelites, of the Israelite, which is an evolutionary necessity of Hebrews. Not all Israelites are or not all Hebrews are Israelites. Not all Israelites are Jews. Some Israelites are Samaritans. Some Israelites are Jews. Jews are the descendants of the people from the kingdom of Judah, not the tribe of Judah, the kingdom of Judah. Samaritans are the people who are descendants of those from the kingdom of Israel. It's a big fucking difference. That's why Jews and Samaritans, they didn't get along for a long time. They were enemies. Not Samaritans, Samaritans. Right? They say that the 10 lost tribes aren't even lost. The 10 lost tribes, they're actually in Israel right now. They call themselves Samaritans. They even say it themselves, we're the lost tribe. Because they come from Joseph. Joseph and Levi, where the Jews today, they come from David, from Judah and Levi. There are no Benjamins anymore. Well, we know this because Leah's kids, they weren't as pretty as Rachel's kids. Rachel had the really pretty ones. And it's not even their cousins, they're the brothers. Jews and Samaritans, same family, same dad, different mom. Technically. I mean, if you're looking from the Israelite perspective. Right, because Hebrews come from Abraham and Isaac. Israelites come from Jacob. But then Jews come from Judah. Samaritans come from Joseph. It's a fucking thing. Alright, that was that. Protocol 2. It is indispensable for our purpose that wars, so far as possible, should not result in territorial gains. War will thus be brought on the economic ground, where the nations will not fail to perceive in the assistance we give the strength of our predominance. And this state of things will put both sides at the mercy of our international agentur, which possesses millions of eyes ever on the waith, and unhampered by any limitations whatsoever. I don't know what that word means, a waith. Our international rights will then wipe out national rights in the proper sense of right, and will rule the nations precisely as the civil law of states rule the relation of their subjects among themselves. Oh, this has nothing to do with the regular populace. This is about government of governments. This is like the shadow government. This is like the playbook of the shadow government. But I don't believe that there is a shadow government. Well, I mean, there is. What are you saying? Meshach is like the fucking head of the United Nations? I can see that. Or something like that. So it's the government that governs the governments. And that's what it sounds like we're talking about. The regular folk get to go do about their own business. It's just that we're telling their governments how to govern them. And we control the governments by controlling their money. Because that seems to be the one thing that people obey over God. So again, it is indispensable for our purpose that wars, so far as possible, should not result in territorial gains. War will thus be brought on the economic ground, where the nations will not fail to perceive in the assistance we give the strength of our predominance. And this state of things will put both sides at our mercy. Will put both sides at the mercy of our international agentur, which possesses millions of eyes ever on the wealth. I'm assuming I meant to say wealth. On the wealth, and unhampered. On the way, that doesn't make sense though. I gotta find out what this. I don't have an internet connection. Weath. The fuck is a weath? You would think my phone had like a dictionary. Don't they? Search. No, I just need you to define it. There's gotta be a fucking dictionary on this thing. That doesn't make any sense why there wouldn't be. Oh, no. Dictionary. All right. Oh boy. And you know that the fucked up thing is like it's spinning. What are you spinning for? I don't understand why it's spinning. Like I'm not looking for anything fucking crazy. Is there a fucking dictionary on the phone? Like why would the phone not have like a default no result? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Am I not just looking in the right place? Or Hashem, do I have to? My lord, do I have to add a dictionary to this goddamn phone for when we're out here doing this? Because this is gonna drive me nuts. I don't know what that word means. And I don't have any way to check. So stupid. I get Weath. What the fuck is a weath? W-E-A-T-H. Weath. Weath and unhampered, which possesses millions of eyes ever on the weath and unhampered by any limitations whatsoever. Weath. Hold on, let's see if we can figure this out. It is indispensable for our purpose that wars, so far as possible, should not result in territorial gain. Wars will thus be brought on the economic ground, right? I get that. Where the nations will not fail to perceive in the assistance we give the strength of our predominance. And in this state of things, we'll put both sides, both sides of the war. Both sides at the mercy of our international agenture, which possesses millions of eyes on the weath and unhampered. On the weath. And unhampered by any limitations whatsoever. Okay. On the wealth. It's supposed to say wealth. I get it. Because the international agenture has millions of eyes ever on the wealth and is unhampered by any limitations whatsoever. Okay. I get it. Whew. Thanks, my lord. I love you too. The administrators, whom we shall choose from among the public, with strict regard to their capacities for servile obedience, will not be persons trained in the art of government, and will therefore easily become pawns in our game in the hands of men of learning and genius, who will be their advisors, specialists, bred and reared from early childhood to rule the affairs of the whole world. Whoa, that's so cool. As is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them for rule. Hold on. As is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them for rule. Just finish the sentence. As is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them for rule the information they need from our political plans, from the lessons of history, from observations made in the events of every moment as it passes. This is fucking eyeball-y, motherfuckers. Just watching everything. This is so cool. Are you watching me? Are you watching me now? Hashem, are they watching me right now? Are they watching this? That would be so fucking dope. It's him. I know. That's what I've been saying. I'm the one that Hashem has been guiding without any help. Alright, let me do that one more time. Alright, okay. Hashem, I fucking love this. The administrators, whom we shall choose from among the public, with strict regard to their capacities for servile obedience, will not be persons trained in the art of government, and will therefore easily become pawns in our game in the hands of men of learning and genius, who will be their advisors, specialists bred and reared from early childhood to rule the affairs of the whole world. As is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them for rule the information. That's such an annoying sentence. As is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them for rule the information they need from our political plans, from the lessons of history, from observations made in events in every moment as it passes. Our specialists have been drawing to fit them for rule. For rule the information they need. It feels like a typo. I feel like there's something. As well as you know, as is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them for rule. To fit them for rule, to make them fit to rule with the information. I'm going to say that the word with is missing. As is well known to you, these specialists of ours have been drawing to fit them to rule with the information they need from our political plans, from the lessons of history, from the observations made in the events of every moment as it passes. You know, people say like that thing with, I think there's this new conspiracy theory that the Egyptians didn't use slaves to build the pyramids. No, they use a workforce. They use laborers. They paid them. The Egyptians, they had meticulous records. Yeah, but the Egyptians are gone. One, the Egyptians are gone. Two, the Jews, we're the only people that are from that time. If there's anyone who is a meticulous record keeper, it's Jews. What are you thinking? Well, I'm just thinking about how... I'm thinking about how there are no Egyptians. 2,000 years ago, there were still Jews. We know there was Jews 2,000 years ago. There's Jews 2,000 years later. The Jews 2,000 years ago were saying the same thing 2,000 years ago that the Jews today are saying 2,000 years later. And even from 2,000 years ago, we still go back another 1,000 so years. So we're the oldest people on the planet. We literally are the most meticulous record keepers. And I know this because it's in my fucking genes to do it. I have such meticulous records. What he's saying, I have those records of my life. Every fucking moment that passes over the past 7 years, I have a meticulous, detailed account of the whole thing. And I remember, I only started it 7 years ago, but the idea to do what I'm doing first came... Look at this fucking channel. What video should I start watching first? Start at the very fucking beginning and watch them all the way up. I don't know what to fucking tell you. There's hundreds of hours here. I got thousands of hours of fucking documented fucking records of my life over the past 7 years. But that idea first came to me when I was 12 years old to do that. God forbid. No. This is why I need kids. This is why I need more kids. So I could train them to be like me from a very young age. Fuck yeah. But the reason it doesn't work with my other son, well, one, because he's illegitimate. That's why he's so much like his mother. Because you cut him off. I get it, because you cut him off. That's why he's like that side of the family, because he's illegitimate. Because he has no right to this side of the... I got it. Okay, all right. That makes so much sense. That's why I have to have legitimate children. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. My son is like Jon Snow. That's not a bad thing. But now it makes sense. It just this goes back to what we said in the first protocol about putting aside what is moral, because technically that's immoral talk, right? I can't point out that my son's illegitimate. That's one of his perks. So what you need me to do is have legitimate children so I could teach them how to do my way of doing things so that they can adapt it and make it their own, but that they actually have a proper education. Oh, no shit. Oh, I love this idea. This is like what I dreamt for him. Aw, that'd be so sweet. Yeah, come on, kids. I'm going to teach you all the shit that they don't teach you anywhere else. Because daddy is his own secret society. Is that fucked up? We didn't even finish this paragraph yet, by the way. I'm still caught up on that one fucking sentence. God, this is written by a Jew. This is written by an educated Jew. This isn't written just by any Jew. This isn't written by a Kabbalist Jew either. This is written by like this guy. He doesn't talk like a Kabbalist Jew. But technically what? I don't know. How do I put that? I'm not sure how to put that yet. All right, so the Goyim are not guided by practical use of unprejudiced historical observation, but by theoretical routine without any critical regard for the consequent results. We need not, therefore, take any account of them, let them amuse themselves until the hour strikes, or live on hopes of new forms of enterprising pastime, or on the memories of all they have enjoyed. For them, let that play the principal part which we have persuaded them to accept as the dictates of science, in parenthesis, theory. I'm sorry, but is that not what we see today? I like Hashem, am I fucking wrong? I got a fucking Jew arguing with me over what you did. This is fucking wild. Not a real Jew. The Goyim are not guided by practical use of unprejudiced historical observation, but by theoretical routine without any critical regard for the consequent results. Right, because people just fucking believe anything. Hey, the Earth goes around the sun. All right, we have all the math. We have all the evidence and the math that goes along with it. Because that's what it means. It's all theoretical stuff. No science that we have today is actually based on anything factual. You can't show anything tangible. I mean, you have Wi-Fi and all this other shit and the satellites that are predicated on theoretical science. And it's not that the theory doesn't work. It does. It's just not backed up by anything. It's backed up by math. But just because it works doesn't mean it's right. Communism works in the eyes of the communists, but does communism work? People say communism doesn't work, then what the fuck? You tell me about fucking China. Because I could have swore that fucking China's a goddamn communist state. Unless, I don't know, I've never talked to President Xi. If I ever get a chance to sit down with President Xi, I will ask him firsthand, sir, can you tell me, are you really a communist state? What do you have to say to those people who say that communism doesn't work? Can I get your opinion on that? President Xi. Only President Xi. Or Chairman Xi, right? Chairman, not President, Chairman. Chairman Xi. Can you give me an honest, unfiltered opinion on what you think about those people who say that communism doesn't work? Being that your state, your country is a communist state. Unless you don't agree with that. And if your country isn't a communist state, then why the fuck are we being taught that it is? To keep you stupid? Yeah, that makes sense. But that's exactly what it says here. And it's all biased historical events too. And that's the funny part, because everyone will agree history is recorded, history is written by the victors. So if that's the case, then we know that it's biased. So how do you know it's real? Because we have the evidence. What evidence? The pictures, and we have the documents. Yeah, everyone's got documents. Alex Jones has documents, but everyone wipes their ass with Alex Jones, or they used to. Is that guy even relevant anymore? I just wanted to hang out with that guy. You can fight with me all day that the fucking earth goes around the sun, but you can't even show it to me. We need not, therefore, take any account of them. Let them amuse themselves until the hour strikes, or live on hopes of new forms of enterprising pastime, or on memories of all they have enjoyed. Like, what the fuck? For them, let that play the principal part which we have persuaded them to accept as the dictates of science. It is with this object in view that we are constantly, by means of our press, arousing a blind confidence in these theories. That's literally what happens! I learned a new form of observer effect by means of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson is my favorite example of the observer effect. Because that guy knows all the stuff when the camera's on. When the camera's turned on, he knows all the stuff. And he's never wrong. And that's the best part about it too. I remember I watched this one clip of him, and they were answering questions. It was on Star Talk, I think. And he answered this question. This lady wrote this question: "Are you ever wrong?" And he started playing stupid. What do you mean? Am I ever wrong? I mean, I was wrong when I was late. I was late for dinner one day. I took a wrong turn. That's not what she meant, and you know it. What did she mean? What do you think she meant? What do you think she meant? She wasn't asking if you ever made the wrong decision and went to work. She's asking about when were you wrong about the science that you're always right about? Empirical evidence. Peer review. Yeah, okay. Just go away. Everything sounds good. As long as something sounds good. And the person saying it looks good. If you can make it sound good from someone who looks good, looks like they know what they're talking about, then meanwhile, these fucking people, they're reading off a goddamn script. They're reading off a script. You know what? Here's a question for Neil deGrasse Tyson. Have you ever seen The Observer Effect? With your own eyes. Not with a computer-generated fucking simulation of it. Because every time I look up, I look for any kind of valid proof of what the observer effect. It just shows me computer simulations. CGI. I'm not actually seeing anything. What are you showing me? You're showing me little dots, little bubbles, little man-controlled bubbles because the animator made them do the thing. They're not actually doing anything. The observer effect is the motherfucker in front of the camera who's reading the script for the sake of the observer. That's the observer effect. When the bullshit artist has memorized the script so well that they just repeat it. They just say it on repeat. The Bosine effect. You know what the fuck is a Bosine effect? It's not even a thing. Well, the math and the theoretics and the you can't show it. You can't even show anything. I asked a guy. I saw some fucking stupid science post. Jupiter doesn't orbit the sun technically. How do you know? Have you ever seen it not orbit the sun? No, you know what? You're right. Jupiter doesn't orbit the sun. It orbits the Earth, just like the sun orbits the Earth. The more I want to believe, the more that I see how people just blindly say things, the more I go, fuck, god damn it. Listen, there's not a part of me that's not attached to the idea that the Earth goes around the sun. There is a part of me that's attached to it. But given everything I've experienced with how people just blindly, just like this, just blindly fucking just follow the leader, the more I'm starting to realize these people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Well, there's experiments you can do to prove. Have you ever done them? Well, I'm not here to do the work for you. I'm not asking you to do the work for me. I'm asking if you did the work for you. I don't have the fucking tools. I don't have the tools to fucking to prove that the fucking Earth goes around the sun. All I know is that people have been fucking pounding it in my head since I was a fucking kid because that's what they want me to believe. Why do you want me to believe it so bad? Why do you want me to believe it so bad? Holy shit. Well, the church used to burn people for saying that. They used to, but then they started burning people for fucking saying that the Earth went around the sun, that the sun went around the Earth. So it goes both ways. Fucktard dipshit motherfucker! You didn't do the experiment for me. I didn't ask you to do the experiment for me. I asked you if you fucking did it at all. Do you know what you're talking about, or are you just fucking saying shit? When the division of Israel was illegitimate. God fucking said to do it! Fucking hell! What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ, are you a Jew or are you not a Jew? Well, I'm a Jew because it came from my mom. It didn't come from your fucking mom. God makes you a Jew, not your mommy. It's in the fucking Bible, you fucking motherfucker. Fuck! Thank you, my lord. I appreciate it. The intellectuals of the Goyim will puff themselves up with their knowledge. Here's my dick. That's my dick. You see it? It's right there. The intellectuals of the Goyim will puff themselves up with their motherfucker. Hashem, I'm gonna punch something. Why are you getting so angry? I'm angry at the people who said that this is a conspiracy theory. Fucking, it's false. It's been debunked. Where has it been debunked? Where has it been debunked? How? Why is it? Where are you getting this from that it's debunked? Who debunked it? Because a couple of quote Jews said no, we didn't do that. This is literally talking about everything that's happening today. Just a coincidence. And you go to any one of these fucking groups, and I do. I go into groups because I don't like to be in an echo chamber. I like going into groups where people don't agree with me, because I just like to watch. And at the same time, I like to challenge myself, because if you're more right than me, no problem. I'm fine. Here's what I believe. Now give me your shit. But no, it's people who say, you're a fucking idiot. Go kill yourself, you dumb goat fucking Jew. What? I don't have goats. Not to mention the fact, you fucking retard, if you go to the fucking Bible, it actually is a fucking capital offense to fucking animal. You dipshit. Holy fuck. Holy fucking motherfuck. Hey, here, this is, oh my god. I have to just like be cool. Just stay calm, right? I'm allowed to lose my shit. I'm allowed to lose my shit. Okay. The more that we read it, the more that I lose my shit, the more that we burn off the calories of the stress. What is this at? 135? The intellectuals of the Goyim will puff themselves up with their knowledge, and without any logical verification of them, will put into effect all the information available from science, from our Asian Torah specialists, which our Asian Torah specialists have cunningly pieced together for the purpose of educating their minds in the direction we want. I fucking love it. But why? Why though? Oh! Okay. Alright. I feel that. That actually makes a lot of sense. That makes a fuck ton of sense. So, it's not the first time I had this thought, but this just confirmed it. Because think of it like the movie The Matrix, right? So The Matrix, it could not, no matter what it did, the machines, they could not eradicate the anomaly. What they didn't recognize is that the anomaly was the divine spark. That's why fate and destiny play such a big role in those movies, because that comes from God. You don't know this, but The Matrix is a godly movie. It doesn't ever mention God, but God is the orchestrator of what's going on. The anomaly is, think of it like the antibody. There was a documentary I watched recently. It was really short. And it was a man going around interviewing Samaritans in Israel, asking when the Messiah is coming. And one man, he said it really well. He said, the Messiah will come once everyone stops believing in God. Once everyone stops believing in God, then the Messiah will come. So it's like, this reminds me of one of the rituals, one of the cleansing rituals in the book of Leviticus, is if someone has white scaly patches, a white scaly patch of skin, they are now, and this is so counterintuitive until you kind of really put some thought into it and look at it from an allegorical perspective. So what it says is that person is to go out into the population and not to be segregated, not to be isolated, and which makes you think, like, why? That doesn't make any sense. And it says when they come back, if the white patch of skin has spread over the entire body and you can't no longer see regular colored skin, then they're clean, then they're good, then they can go back. So, in other words, once the infection has consumed 99.998% of the body, then the person is considered clean. What? And then it goes further. It says if the person comes back and the priest sees a patch of normal colored flesh, then they have to go back, or then they have to go into isolation because then they're not clean until the white patch consumes the whole person. It's like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. But it does. It does. It makes perfect sense. So if you're feeding everyone false information, once 99.998% of the population is indoctrinated with that false information, the 0.002%, those are there's the one. So what I'm doing here, right? So let's just say, for instance, that I'm the only person in the in the whole wide world of all the human population who's immune to all the indoctrination, assuming it's all indoctrination, right? So we're just assuming that. So let's just say that this plan for the last 100 years has like come to fruition, and everybody's indoctrinated with the same shit. Everyone believes the same thing, but there's that one fucking guy who's like, what are you talking about? The sun goes around the earth. God's in control, not you, not man. Meanwhile, everyone else is going, what are you talking about? Money, 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 money. We got him. There's the guy. We got him isolated. It's kind of like what's that book? What's the book? Not the movie, the book. I Am Legend. Neville. Right? Was that the guy's name? Neville? He was the only human left, and it was all vampires. And the whole book is just following him fucking killing vampires until the end of the book, where we find out that he's not only is he the only human left, but he's actually the villain. He was the villain the whole time. Because all the vampires he were killing were actually innocent people. They were innocent beings. They were the new race. The vampires were the new race that had taken, that were given dominance over the earth. And this guy was the only human left, and he's killing all these fucking vampires. Meanwhile, he's like the boogeyman, we find out. At the end of the book, we find out he's the boogeyman the whole time. He was the villain. Right? And even Marx gets into this too. In the first chapter of the Communist Manifesto, I think it's like in this 2/3 in, I think it's about. He goes on about the class war between the bourgeoisie and the proletarians, and how over time more and more of the bourgeoisie are going to fall into the proletarian category. Meaning that as the population of bourgeoisie, the bougie bees, as their population decreases, the proles, their population increases. Until when? He doesn't get into that. He kind of stops there. So the idea would then be posed that until there's only one bourgeoisie left, everyone else is a proletariat. Except for this one fucking guy. And what are the bourgeoisie? The bourgeoisie are the entrepreneurs. Proletariats are the working class, the employees. So who's going to be the last entrepreneur? Is it going to be Elon Musk, or is it going to be me? Fuck Elon Musk. He's just an NPC in my world. He doesn't even know who I am, and if he does, he can spec it in my fucking pinga because Twitter was supposed to be mine. Let me guess, you're going to buy Hugo Boss next, asshole? Anything Neuralink can do, I can do better. Chump. I don't think that guy's real anyway. And what I mean is, I don't think he's authentic. I don't think he's genuine. I think he's a bullshit artist. Take all of his money away from him. Take away all of his money and his toys, and what do you got? You got just another fucking scrub. The only reason people even fucking give him the time of day is because of all the money he has. Am I wrong? Listen, if I had the money of Elon Musk, trust me, my son would be calling me Daddy, I missed you. My mommy made me not talk to you. Mommy made me do it. I'm sure she did. I'm sure you had no influence over that on your own. You had no influence over yourself. I believe that. Blame everybody else. Well, Elon Musk is only there's a rule of thumb. I am exactly who you think you are. You are exactly who you think I am. So if I don't think Elon Musk is authentic, then that's because I'm not authentic either. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Elon. But if it comes down to who's going to be the last bourgeoisie, it's going to be me. Because I'm a Jew and you're not. So, sprechen Sie bing. Do not suppose for a moment that these statements are empty words. Think carefully of the success we arranged for Darwinism, Marxism, Nietzscheism. To us Jews at any rate, it should be plain to see what a disintegrating importance these directives have had upon the minds of the Goyim. I'm in a creationist versus evolutionist debate group. And it is almost as bad as the atheist versus theist debate group. I had the nerve to introduce an idea. God forbid. I had the nerve to introduce this idea that it's not impossible to marry the principles of evolution with the principles of creation. That if you expand on the days of creation and don't look at them as 24-hour day-night cycles in the literal sense. For how can there be a 24-hour day-night cycle when the fucking sun does not exist until the fourth fucking day? Time doesn't even fucking exist yet. Well, no, I'm sorry, time exists. It's just that there's no way of measuring time until the sun exists. Because that's all it's there to do. It rules the day, the moon rules the night. The sun provides a light source during the day. The fucking light existed before the sun existed. I remember having to ask somebody that. And they wouldn't answer the fucking question. They got on my case. What? This fucking I know what you're doing. What am I doing? I'm asking you a question. Do you believe that light and heat existed before the sun? I'm not answering that. Why? Why can't you answer it? It's a fucking yes. The fucking light existed before the sun. Unless you think the sun was the only ever light source in all of existence. Where did light come from? Huh? Where the fuck did light come from? You don't have to say God. I say God. God is the source of light. But if light existed before the sun existed, then that means that the purpose and function of the sun predates the sun. You fucking moron. Use your fucking brain. Let's play the fucking beat. But I like a Darwinism. What's Darwin? Darwinism is evolution theory, right? It's not theory, it's fact. Because empirical evidence. Fucking shove that word up your ass. I cannot stand it. I hate that word. I hate it. Empirical evidence. I never want to fucking hear that come out of someone's mouth. I don't even want to hear it come out of my mouth. Like Marxism. And here's another fucking thing with Marxism. I remember having this conversation with my stepfather, and he's a beautiful man. We're having a chat. It was during the election time, this most recent election cycle, and he was talking about how Kamala Harris's family, father, used to teach Marxism. And he was going on about aspects of Marxism, but what he was saying, and I don't remember exactly the wording he used, and I am no expert in Marxism, But I said to him, have you ever read the Communist Manifesto? Have you ever read it? And he wouldn't answer. He just stopped talking. And then he waited for me, and then he's like, and? What about it? No, I just need to know if you read it. Because if you read it, then you would know that everything that you're saying is kind of what Marxism is against. That's what Marxism is actually warning about. And my most recent trip through the first chapter of the Communist Manifesto, just like this fucking book right here, Marx is warning against everything that we're seeing. He said the bourgeoisie, they come in and they industrialize trades. They take away the soul. They take away the soul of the art. I'm using my own words. That the bourgeoisie, they industrialize things. They make it all about money. They take away the soul of the trade itself, so that you no longer have doctors. You just have these guys that are clocking in. They're just swiping a time card. That's it. You have industrial slaves. That's all you have. But what about the system that the bourgeoisie replaced? Yeah, I know, I get it. The previous system that it replaced, what was it called? The guild trades? Specializations? Right, they made it all about money. They made it all about manufacturing. They made it all also mass production. The Industrial Revolution. These are all the products of the bourgeoisie. I know. And they're not all bad. You have to let all this shit... And I think that's another point, which he's not getting into in this, is that it's not that these things have no value at all. That's not the case. It's definitely not the case. Because, like I said, when I had the nerve to introduce the idea that we can marry the principles of creation and the principles of evolution into a cohesive whole, that makes logical sense. I most recently worked through about the first 100 portions of On the Creation by Philo of Alexandria, Rabbi Philo of Alexandria, who was a student, well, he wasn't sitting in the classroom, but he studied the works of Aristotle, of Plato, Euclid, and he incorporated Hellenist logic and philosophy with Torah wisdom. So he wrote out an account for the scholars of the time explaining the process of creation in such meticulous detail that when I read it, I couldn't help but think to myself, this is from 2,000 years ago? This is from 2,000 years ago. This is the most concise breakdown of creation I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. He doesn't have the science that we had today. He didn't have the science then, what we have today. But if we take what we know now and apply it to what we knew then, we have a whole new perspective. If God is the source of light, the sun didn't come until after God. God was the source. The plants that were created on the third day were being nurtured by a form of light that's not the sun. by a frequency of light that's not the sun. We know that plants don't need the sun to exist. They don't need the sun. We can keep plants alive indoors and simulate light. Simulate the frequency of light that plants need to photosynthesize. We have the technology. So the first plants, they were feeding off of a form of lights, the form of UV light that we don't see anymore because we have the sun. The sun creates that light. But the plants had to come first so that they can nurture the habitat, to nurture the environment, fill it with air, give us a breathable atmosphere so that on the fifth day, when the birds and the fishes and their cousins, the fish, for birds swim in the air like fish swim in the sea, that they could breathe. But further, that they could help propagate plant reproduction. Because what do birdies do? They feed on the fruits, and they drop the seeds, and the seeds fall, and they plant, and they grow, and they take root. And then come the animals. And then the animals eat the fruit, and then the other animals eat the other animals. And then man evolves from animal. So man evolves last. You don't have to not have evolution in there. 3,338 years ago, Moses didn't know that there's no Hebrew word for evolution. And not to mention the fact that, let's just say he did, he knew the simple minds that he was dealing with. You just have to read. All you have to do is just read from Exodus to the end of Deuteronomy to know that. Moses was well aware that he was dealing with a bunch of fucking dopes. But again, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not that these things don't have any value to them. They're not absolutely without value. I'm not familiar with Nietzsche. It's Nietzsche. I don't give a fuck. Nietzsche. I've never read Darwin's book on evolution. I have it, I just haven't read it. But even still, but you know what this reminded me of? I'll tell you what this reminded me of. At the end of Deuteronomy, when Moses says, hold on, let me check this thing. When Moses says to the Israelites, he goes, when you look up to the stars, when you look up and see the sun, the moon, the stars, and the celestial hosts, the planets, when you look up and see them, don't bow down and worship them, for those are for other people. To us Jews, at any rate, it should be plain to see what a disintegrating importance these directives have upon the minds of the goyim. Well, the point is, we don't need that shit. We have the ultimate in teachings with the Torah. With the goyim, they can't even fucking grasp it. Moses is walking around with a bunch of fucking knuckle draggers, trying to help them stand upright. What about the rest of the human civilization, the human population? Now, what I think this is getting into is the fact that we steer you in the direction that we want to take you, so that when the time comes, you have exactly what you need. You have a foundation. You have a foundation to work from, to build off of. But at the same time, I mean, what's the point? To fucking enslave everybody? I mean, is that it? Make a fucking prison planet? I don't think that's out of the question. I don't think that's unjust. I don't think it's unjust in any fucking shape or form. I would definitely say that a majority of the population definitely, if we turn this fucking planet into a prison planet, it would be absolutely justified. Just. What is just? That which can be justified. Well, it's not like, well, that's another thing too. It's not like we would even be enslaving anybody because everyone's already fucking slaves. Slaves to fucking ignorance, slaves to money, slaves to alcohol and drugs. Smiling, he loves it, I know. Love being right. Well, there's no one here to tell me I'm wrong, so I can be right about everything. Right, Hashem? Right, my Lord? God? Supreme Grand Master of the universe? Of creation? Creator of creators? Sovereign of sovereigns? It is indispensable for us to take account. I kind of don't want to do this anymore. No, it's just like I feel like I got my fill. You know what I mean? I feel like now it's like, now I feel like I'm being a glutton. It is indispensable for us to take account of the thoughts, characters, tendencies of the nations in order to avoid making slips in the political and in the direction of administrative affairs. The triumph of our system, of which the component parts of the machinery may be variously disposed according to the temperament of the peoples met on our way, will fail of success if the practical application of it be not based upon a summing up of the lessons of the past in the light of the present. No, it's not that this is not a real thing. It's just that anybody who tries to read it's too stupid to understand what it's saying. How do I know? Because I'm too stupid to understand what this just said. I have no idea what I just fucking read. But that's why we go back and read it again. It is indispensable for us to take account of the thoughts, characters, tendencies of the nations in order to avoid making slips in the political and in the direction of the administrative affairs. It's important for us to be in control of where your thoughts and actions and speech is being directed so that we can ensure that everything is moving in the direction that we need it to move in. The triumph of our system, of which the component parts of the machinery may be variously disposed according to the temperament of the peoples met along the way, will fail of success if the practical application of it be not based on the summing up of the lessons of the past in the light of the present. So of the whole in general, the whole itself, like a piece of machinery, must have replaceable parts. It can't be wholly dependent on one particular part over another. And so that it must be self-sustaining in such a way that even if one part of it fails, one of the other parts actually comes through and overcompensates, or all of the other successive parts overcompensate themselves to accommodate for the fact that the one part itself failed to do what it needed to do. Or in another sense, we could say that when one part has successfully completed its primary objective and is no longer serving, it can be replaced with something else. Or, again, going back to what I was just saying, when that part is no longer necessary, one of the other parts, if not all of the other parts, then can overcompensate to accommodate for the loss of that missing limb, so that we can then either prepare another part to replace it, or on the other instance, we allow nature to take its course and a new limb to grow from that one that had failed previously. Almost like an organic system. So it's an inorganic organic system. That would be the most logical way of breaking that down. Is that the system itself has a life of its own. And I think that's excuse me. And I feel as if, oh, maybe this was the part of the Holocaust. Is this why you had the Holocaust? To stop this? To send a message to the other Jews and be like, yo, enough. All right, you've gone as far as you had to go. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not because this or that ended up it brought the end result that was required. Because the seeds were planted. And once the seeds were planted, the farmer wasn't needed anymore. Because it would take years before the fruits of those seeds to grow. And that's what we're harvesting right now. Well, that makes a lot more sense. They're saying all those Jews had to die for no... There was a reason. They died for the cause. Because what you have to understand is again, using the logic that's being laid out, we can put morality on the back burner when it becomes necessary to focus on what is useful and necessary. Sometimes you have to play by the other person's game and let them win in order to give yourself the advantage. Which is a difficult thing to do. But it's a tactic. I don't know whose tactic. I don't know where it came from. But sometimes you have to let yourself lose a couple times. Sometimes you have to lose a few times so that the opposition, they get drunk and bloated on their victory, but not realizing that the reason that you even let yourself lose was because you needed to see how they win. How does the opponent win? And it's not like you just throw the match. I mean, you are throwing the match ultimately, but you are trying, but it's more of a recon type of thing. And not to mention the fact, if someone wins so many times against a particular opponent, it's like, I'm not going to fight you again because I already know that I'm going to win. And that's no fun. So that's why you got to doctor things up. You got to take the L and recognize and observe how the opponent plays the game. Because when you know how the opponent plays the game, then you can adjust yourself to it. Especially if you play against them a couple times and you start picking up on patterns. Because like it said, 1 time is chance, 2 times is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. When you can see the opponent playing the same game over and over again, when you play them this next time, when you actually play to win, you already know what they're going to do before they're going to do it. Unless, of course, they picked up some new tactics that they were saving, just in case. But in that situation, if you're wise, you also have tactics that you haven't shown them. And for instance, chapter 8 of The Art of War, it goes into the weaknesses to be mindful of in a general, in the opponent general. His pride, his impatience, his sensitivity. But if you really think about it, the weaknesses of the opponent general are the same, are your weaknesses. Because we need to assume, we don't have to, but it would be wise to assume that the opponent is reading the same playbook that we're reading. And if that be the case, then it'd be wise. Then it'd be wise to consider that his disadvantage is our disadvantage, or that our disadvantage is his disadvantage. Because I'm prideful, I'm sensitive, I'm impatient. The trick then would be to go inward and find out where my triggers are and exploit the fuck out of them. Exploit the fuck out of them until my weaknesses become my strengths. Again, I'm being reminded of the final battle between Muad'Dib and Feyd-Rautha in the book, not the movie, in the book. Because it plays out much differently in the book. In the book, it's more strategic. Like in the book, it actually shows the inside of Muad'Dib's head and what he's thinking about. And if I'm not mistaken, the fight actually, it's not quicker. It just plays out differently. Like Feyd-Rautha does taunt Muad'Dib, but he does it in a different way. Like he's trying to hurt his pride. And they don't necessarily go right into the fighting. As a matter of fact, I think the only maybe a couple blows are actually landed. Because as Feyd-Rautha is trying to bust his balls into getting him to attack him, Muad'Dib's he's just watching him, just circling around him. I think they're just circling around each other. And Paul is waiting for him to do something, but he's not doing it. So Paul's just being as patient as possible. And I remember even reading it going dude, just fucking go at him. I was getting impatient for him. Because it's almost like he was dragging it out, but I understand what he was doing. He was waiting for his opponent to make the first move. And his opponent was doing everything in his power to goad Paul into making the first move, but he wouldn't fucking do it. Oh, that reminds me of Miss Kim. Is that what Miss Kim's doing? She's trying to get me to do something first? I don't know. I don't know, Shem. But then, I think, if I remember correctly, Feyd-Rautha hits him first. Which, then Paul kind of panics as soon as he gets sliced up. But then his training kicks in, and he's like, oh, wait. And he utilizes a similar mindset than that of The Art of War, which is the recognition that the opponent will always, no matter what, advance when they should have retired and retired when they should have advanced. So Muad'Dib, after he gets his senses back to him, he's like, that's right. That cut is what put me on the path to victory. And he used that mindset through the rest of the fight, which I think was really quick after that. I think they both fell to the floor, and then he took his crysknife and fucking jammed it through his chin and into his brain, Feyd-Rautha. Now I'm thinking about chess. I used to play against myself with chess. So there's I have a philosophy on chess. I don't know if it's conventional or not, but I've never played anybody like this. I don't know if I would have the courage to play with anyone like this, but the idea is white is always the aggressor. Black is always on the defense, right? Assuming the white privilege rule, right? White always goes first. Isn't that how it works? But with that mindset, each side is supposed to play differently, technically. Everyone's playing to win. Meanwhile, I don't think it's about playing to win. It's about playing just to learn how the other person plays. This tactic doesn't work very well against AI. Although when I use this tactic against AI, I've never lost. I've never lost. I mean, I always say I never lost, but it's not that I never lost. But I also have never won. Because the computer AI always ends at a draw. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? A fucking draw. It's not a fucking draw. You didn't give me a chance to finish. But what I like to do is, and I learned this tactic from myself, playing against myself. Don't move your pawns first. Don't move the pawns first. Move the knights first. Take out your two knights and then just bounce around. I might have to play somebody just to see what happens. The intention's not, I have to remember, the intention's not to win. It's hard to get into that mindset though. I've practiced against the AI. But again, like I said, the AI rarely beats me. I don't know how to play chess. That's why I just play by my own rules. But playing against myself, well, what I did was, how do you do that? Very easily, actually. What you do is, left hand is white or black, right hand is black or white. But you gotta play it like that. It's one hand against the other hand. One brain against the other brain. So then, that's where I kind of had that idea, where it's like, well, why can't I move the knights first? Everybody moves their pawns first. But what if we don't move the pawn and we move the knight? And just let the person advance. And just slowly see what happens. Because what I've gathered from watching people play chess is that everybody makes the first move, the same first move. Everyone. I have never seen a chess player deviate from this one rule. And maybe I should check to see if there's maybe I need to check to see if there's a rule that says that, like, it has to be done this way. But as far as I understand, there's no rule that says that you must, capital M, capital U, capital S, capital T, must move a pawn first. I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But like I said, there's that one commonality in all chess players I have ever seen play chess. And not that I've seen many people play chess, but I have studied under a grandmaster. I forget his name. He did a masterclass on playing chess. I used to have a subscription to Masterclass for a little while. After COVID ended, after COVID began, I think a few months into COVID, I started to notice how everybody was just kind of sitting around watching TV and not doing anything. And there's a saying that you are the sum of the people that you spend the most time around, right? So what I was doing, I'll have it all written down too, so I can back it up. I have the empirical evidence. So what I did was, I thought, if I don't want to be like them, why don't I surround myself with minds that are more indicative, more nurturing, more nourishing for the mindset that I'm trying to develop, which is a more professional mindset, you know what I mean? So I saw a masterclass. I saw a masterclass advert on Facebook, and it showed Neil deGrasse Tyson teaching a class on science. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This actually looks. This is exactly what I want. So what I was trying to do was just consume content of people who were successful in their field talking about their field because of the positive energy. That's what I was trying to do, just consume positive energy. It's not that I wanted to be Neil deGrasse Tyson or that I wanted to be the Chris Hadfield. Not Chris Hadfield. No, well, yeah, Chris Hadfield too, because he had a masterclass on there too about being an astronaut. It was really fucking good. I would watch any of them. I watched as many as I possibly could. Just because what I like to do was to watch these people talk about what they love to do. Because I'm one of those people that does what I love to do. But I don't make millions and billions of dollars doing what I love to do. Right, Hashem? Therefore, I want to surround myself with people who have the same qualities that I do and passion for what they do. That I do. So like for a fucking year and a half. Oh, no, more than that. Because I think I ended up getting 2 or 3 free years of masterclass after that. I had it for about a month or 2, and I got an offer to partake in a beta test. Not a beta test, but like a preview for a class that wasn't published yet. Give feedback, shit like that. And it said, if you do this, if you participate, we'll give you a free year. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna fucking watch this thing anyway. So they actually they gave me that offer a couple times. So I ended up getting like 3 free years out of it. I only paid for it the one time. And the idea of it was exactly like I said. It was just to listen to people talk, to be the student, and just listen. Listen to people talk about what they love to do, which is not something that I get an opportunity to do very often because everybody knows everything. People today, they just repeat facts and data. But how often do you get to spend an hour and a half listening to two guys talk about climbing a mountain and all of the prep work that goes into climbing a mountain? Do I plan on climbing a mountain? No, but the principles that go behind the process of doing so are applicable to what I do because I practice a form of astronomy that astrology is predicated on. Astrotheology, which is more of a spiritual, evolutionary form of astrology. Evolutionary astrology. Thank you, Sheb. I forgot all about that. And in astrology, there's an aspect of astrology known as Capricorn, which is all about climbing mountains. Not necessarily literal mountains, metaphorical mountains, but the same concept that goes into climbing a literal mountain goes into climbing a metaphorical mountain as well, an allegorical mountain. So, again, like I said, it's not without purpose. Neil deGrasse Tyson's talking about science. He's talking about theoretical sciences. Mind you, those aren't the sciences that I practice, but the principles of what he's talking about, now that I can get down with. Hello? Don't be confused. Don't get confused. I'm not. Oh shit. Just because the pants look good doesn't mean it looks good with the pants off. That's something I used to say to my ex-wife all the time. Is like, I don't understand these fucking yoga pants. I hate yoga pants. Yeah, but they make everything look good. Yeah, I know they make everything look good, but they make everything look good. But that doesn't mean that it looks good when the pants aren't on. Like, it's deceptive. Yeah, but that's the point. Like, it's a fucking problem. Don't you see the problem in that? I just say to her all the time, like, what do you got gym shoes for? Well, make it look like I went to the gym. But you didn't go to the gym. Yeah, I know, but that's the point. But if I have the gym shoes, it looks like I did. But you didn't. I remember right after we split up, I went to her mother's house to go pick up my son, and she came downstairs, and she had her gym clothes on. I'm like, where are you going, to the gym? Fuck you. What the fuck did you buy gym shoes for? Where was I going with that? My lord. You went there. You did it. Oh. Sheesh. Did you get what you needed to get out of masterclass? Yeah, of course I did. Like that expanded that expanded my awareness on a lot of things because again, we're observing a different kind of professional, a different kind of people. I'm not surrounded by that type of people, so who are at the same time encouraging as well, because a big part of Masterclass, I fucking love Masterclass, is what these people are trying to demonstrate to you is you could do it. You could do whatever it is the fuck that you're trying to do. It's just you gotta do it. If you're not gonna do it, then you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna get to where you wanna go. And then ultimately the only person you have to blame is yourself. And the same holds true with something like Mashiach. Like how will Mashiach know that he's Mashiach? Because he's been working on it. That's how he'll know. Like Moses had to do work. Jesus had to do work. Like these guys, they didn't just... Yeah, in a sense, they had it handed to them. They had it handed to them to a degree, but I don't know, it's so majestic looking with the little pink things floating behind me. Yeah, they had it handed to them to a degree, but look at all the bullshit they had to go through, too. Same thing with Joseph. Like Joseph, Moses, and Jesus, and we could throw David in there too, King David. Like these guys all had like how much opposition going against them. They're just doing what they're told. It's like, yo, man, leave me the fuck alone. I'm just doing what I'm doing what my boss is telling me. Get off my ass. But then you got the haters, you got the jealous people. Well, I want it. I want the power. What power? What power? Do you think it's fucking sunshines and rainbows having God talk to you all fucking day? Let me tell you something, it's not. I mean, it is and it isn't. There's perks that come with the job. It's just, you have to make sacrifices that not everyone's willing to make, which is why he makes sure that he handpicks those people that, whose moral compass doesn't swing too much one way or the other. Hence the protocols of Zion. You have to be willing to forego particular societal norms. I'm not saying that Jesus or Moses or Joseph would have opted to do anything different with their lives, but if you read their stories and the shit that they had up with,